Hey everyone, back with you. Topic, North Korea. Alrighty, it is April the 15th, 2017, Saturday. Well, in North Korea, they're 13 hours ahead of us, so it is now the 16th there. Their big day of celebration, celebrating the birth of the original demigod, Kim Jong-un, or whatever his name was. This was their big celebration day, and of course, Kim Jong-un, the demonic Tele-Tubby, had pledged to test a nuke, but he did not. He backed down. He's still talking lots of trash, but he backed down, and that is unbelievable. And what made him back down is, of course, China sent him a very strong message. They refused quite a few ships carrying coal, sent them back to North Korea, and did one thing else. They said, if you keep threatening to use this nuke or test this nuke, if you do that, we're going to come down even harder. But they also pulled back a shipment of oil to North Korea. Now keep in mind, North Korea is totally dependent on China for their petroleum needs. They have large petroleum needs and they have no petroleum. They totally rely on China. The only second option is Iran, but it's very difficult for Iran to get their oil into North Korea because of the sanctions, because there's so many military ships and other ships around. It's really hard for them to sneak a couple of fuel tankers into North Korea. They're totally reliant on China for their oil, and apparently China has withheld that oil. Now, they probably did that to keep them from testing this nuke today or firing any missiles today, because he did not. He backed down. So China got him to blink. And it had to do, I'm sure, with refusing to send in this oil shipment. Because, I mean, Kim Jong-un knows that's one place he can't go. He can't make China so mad that they won't send him any oil. He's done. He's cooked at that point. And so that's why he backed down. Now, I assume in the next couple of days, China might go ahead and send him some oil, or maybe not. We don't know what kind of a deal was cut between President Xi and President Trump, but obviously some deal was cut, and walls are closing in on the demonic Tele-Tubby. His days are numbered. The thing to watch for, the only question now is, when's it going to happen? And I think it will be sooner than later, certainly within the next 12 months. The question is how you do it and when you do it. Timing's important, and how you pull this off, because you do have the situation. Seoul, South Korea, is a very, very populated city. People pretty densely packed in there, several million people. If he launches everything he's got, if the Tele-Tubby launches everything he's got, he can kill a bunch of people, as in like 500,000 to 1 million. We have American troops there as well, right there on the DMZ. Now, I don't think the South Koreans are too worried about 1 million North Koreans coming across the DMZ, for the simple reason is that they've spent the last 50 years laying landmines for acres and acres across the DMZ. So if they try to send their own soldiers across that DMZ, they're going to be getting blown to shit, which, of course, Kim Jong-un probably wouldn't care. He'd say, okay, well, the first 10,000 of you are going to be clearing out the minefield by stepping on the mines and blowing them up. Of course, you're all going to die, but you'll pave the way for the other hundreds of thousands of troops who will be running over your backs and body parts they're laying in the field, having just blown yourselves up with landmines. So the whole place is landmine to hell and back around the DMZ. So, but it's not so much the ground troop surge I think that you're worried about, because I think that they can defend themselves against that. It's the fact that Kim Jong-un does have quite a few of those ballistic missiles. They're short-range missiles is all he needs to hit Seoul. And he's got a lot of them, 10,000 or so. And he can launch every damn one of them. You'd be talking about massive loss of life in the 500,000 range, maybe more. So this is the only reason that they haven't cooked his goose at this point. I mean, this is the only thing that's saving him, is they have not figured out exactly yet how to deal with that situation. Now, from my previous video, I told you that maybe one of the best ways to deal with this situation is that you hit Kim Jong-un personally. You blow his ass up in his house. And hopefully you have a Chinese diplomat who can immediately, after the strike takes place, contact the second in command in North Korea and say, hey, I know you're pissed. They just killed the demonic Tele-Tubby, your boss. But the fact of the matter is, the U.S. has got a whole can of ass whip, including a Trident submarine with 48 nuclear-tipped missiles, ready to just blow you out of existence. Yeah, you can kill a lot of the South Koreans, but you are all going to die in a very ugly way if you do it. The best thing you can do is don't do it. Walk this thing back, wave the white flag, North and South will reunite, and you'll all be way better off. It's a life and death call, and it's your call to make. And I think that's what they want to do. But the thing to watch here is that I would expect right now what's happening in South Korea, that they are undertaking plans right now for finding a way that they can evacuate as many people quickly out of Seoul as possible, and also trying to configure some sort of bomb shelters. These missiles that North Korea has are not really like bunker busters. If you can get underground, you'll survive them. I don't know he'll ever get a nuke off the ground. The only way he can deliver the nuke is with an airplane or a boat. Well, a boat wouldn't help him in South. That would only help him if he were trying to do something in the Philippines or Japan. But he'll never get a boat outside of his territorial waters. They'll blow it up. We got submarines, ships everywhere. He's not going to get a Navy vessel anywhere near Japan or Philippines. And I doubt that his plane, because they can. We have devices that can detect atomic weapons, and so whatever plane that he puts that atomic weapon or weapons on, we will be able to detect that, and that airplane will be on the radar screen, and they will hit it before it ever gets off the runway. It might not even get airborne. It will be taxiing down the runway, and boom, it'll just get blown to shit. So he'll never get the atomic bomb in the air. I can almost be 90% certain of that. But he could get a lot of those missiles launched, and I think that's what they're worried about. And he may get some of them launched. Of course, he won't be the one launching them because, again, I think that they'll take him out personally and force his second in command to make the call, which is what you want to do. And if the second in command doesn't heed the advice of some Chinese diplomat who's in the embassy there in North Korea, who will probably call him and say, oh, yeah, we know they just killed Tele-Tubby, but listen, don't do it. But if he says, I'm going to do it anyway, we're all going to go down together for our dear leader, they have to have a plan, and they do have a plan. We've got enough firepower in there to devastate North Korea without even using nukes, just conventional weapons alone. But that doesn't save the people in South Korea, the 500,000 or so who might be killed when those ballistic missiles hit. So I think the thing to watch, and the thing that's probably happening right now, is in preparation for that eventuality. I think that what they're doing is probably trying to figure out a way that they can evacuate, because there won't be very much time. This will have to be a secret attack. It's not going to be something they're going to be able to plan. If they're going to hit Kim Jong-un, the satanic Tele-Tubby, they're going to have to do it without any notice. It's going to have to come from a drone or a stealth bomber or something when he's in his residence or what have you. Kill him, and then be prepared to respond if they respond. And hopefully they won't, but if they do, you have to have some way to deal with that situation. We can knock out probably a lot of those missiles, but you're not going to get them all. If they do launch, second in command launches, he's going to kill a lot of people, including probably Americans, soldiers, Americans who live in South Korea, and a lot of people in Seoul. So I think that they're probably making preparations right now to configure as many places as they can to be used as bomb shelters, and they'll probably be having drills. And I would think that this is what we're going to see over the next coming days and weeks in South Korea, depending on how much time they have. Because again, if the demonic Tele-Tubby attempts another nuke test, I think they're going to go. I really do. I really think they're going to go. So I think plans are probably being made right now, and they're going to be probably having drills for getting underground or getting into some safe place to avoid getting a lot of people killed by these ballistic missiles that may be raining in on them, because it's a 50-50 shot. Whether or not they throw up the white flag and do the smart thing, or whether the second in command after is killed, whether or not he wants to act or what have you. Remains to be seen, but they're going to plan for that eventuality. They're not just going to, wing it. Say, well, we sure hope you don't launch missiles, because he very well could. So I think that that's probably what's going on in South Korea right now. An evacuation plan, move as many people out of Seoul as you can. Seoul will know when this is going to happen. This will be released to them probably 12 to 24 hours beforehand, and they'll try to make an exodus out of the city as quickly as possible. They'll create some fake reason, a power outage or something, tell people to stay home, not to go to work. Oh, we've had a power outage, or oh, we've had a sewer erupt, or whatever. They'll make up some reason why people shouldn't come into Seoul that day. Stay home. Anyone who's there, they'll probably try to have some place where they can go underground, or some place they can go to protect themselves. They'll try to avoid casualties as much as possible. But at the end of the day, there's no doubt that the demonic Teletubby is going to be achieving room temperature in the near future. His days are numbered. China clearly has made the decision. Donald Trump cut some sort of a deal. It's obvious it's going to happen. Now, as I say, it's just a matter of when and how they do it. And we'll stay following this story. I do appreciate all your support. I appreciate people commenting. The reason why I do these videos is not because I'm some know-it-all with a crystal ball. I do it because I want to be a part of the information war. I want to be a part of that. And but and the beautiful thing about what we have in the independent media is that you get to comment. Back in the day before independent media, I used to sit on my couch and literally throw shit and scream at my TV. I would scream at my TV because I had no way to comment. Well, you don't have that problem. You can comment. If you got something on your mind, something I said, whether you disagree or agree, I don't disrespect anyone. If you read how I respond to people in my comments, you can call me any name in the book. I won't respond generally the way you did to me. You can be rude if you want to, or you can have a common sense, rational disagreement with me. I encourage you to do that. It's a discussion forum. In the comments section, that's what it's there for. It's there to provoke a discussion, and everyone's opinion is important. Everyone's opinion. My opinion is no more important than yours. I'm nobody. I'm just some guy with a YouTube video who's been watching, studying these things for 30 years. I was in the military. I was in a nuclear weapons unit. I was in the 1st Infantry Division. I've been around the world in military units. I understand how things work regarding military. I studied political science. I eventually changed my major. I would have had a political science degree, but I changed my major. So anyway, I know some things, but I don't know everything. I encourage your comments, and I enjoy the discussion. I respond to comments as much as I can. Sometimes I don't have time to get to all of them, but I do appreciate everyone who comments and participates in the discussion. Everyone's opinion is important, and I welcome all the comments and appreciate everyone who subscribes. Thumbs up. I like it if you don't give me a thumbs down. If you don't like it, just don't give me a thumbs down, but you can make a comment. But I love thumbs up. Those are always cool. So anyway, you guys take care. We'll keep watching the situation, and God willing, we will eliminate the demonic, psychotic Tele-Tubby in North Korea. We'll liberate those poor people who've been through so much. It's just hard to imagine that kind of brutality and tyranny. It's just sad. It's very, very pitiful. And I generally don't support war. I'm generally anti-war. I will support a war if it's to defend ourselves, or I think Styx Hexenheimer really, I agree with him that you have to defend your country, you have to defend yourself in a war. That's justified. And there are times when you can liberate someone. If you can actually pull it off, if you can do it successfully, I support that. I didn't support the war in Iraq, didn't support the actions in Libya. I wrote 3 books on Vietnam. So in my extreme opposition and the horrible political war that was, and the horrible decision to go into that war, and the reasons we fought it, the lies upon lies upon lies, are just so much involved in the Vietnam conflict. It was just so bad. And so anyway, that's basically all I got on the subject today. We'll all keep watching it, and God willing, it will have a good ending. You all take care. Enjoy the holiday weekend if you have families and stuff like that. Have fun with some Easter egg hunts or whatever. And we'll see you back here next time. Take care.